Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning here on the show. We're still here on Newsflash, and just gone by was fellow Ghanaians by Kwaku Asante returns again tomorrow. And also news on Newsflash will come back again tomorrow as well. Do well to stay with us here on the show. This segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, still phones Papa Path here. And also, we're grateful to Koa Natural Fruit Juice, also supporting us this morning. I'm asking you to walk into any branch of Franco Trading Enterprise as you go about your daily activities and grab something for yourself. If you need an appliance, that's the place you need to go. If you need your refrigerators, your phones, your microwaves, your CCTV cameras, you can get all of that from Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phones, Papa Path, quality is what we're talking about. So please do well and download the app right now. And when you download the app, you get all the details you need in terms of our numbers, our branches, and everything that you need to know about Franco Trading Enterprise. Our website is www.francotrading.com, and you can also go there and check it, all the things that you need for yourselves. And we're treating you to always buy from Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phones, Papa Path here. You also discover the authentic taste of Ghana's, fruit juice, and this we're talking Koa Natural. Enjoy the taste, the fresh taste from cocoa with Koa Natural, a healthy juice made right here in GH from the pulp that surrounds the cocoa beans. This is for you and your family, your loved ones out there. So please, as you are getting busy today, do well and get yourself a Koa Natural fruit juice. It's naturally refreshing and stimulating every taste bud. Now, it is made right here in Ghana, and you purchasing it or patronizing it actually make sure that you're also supporting the Ghanaian cocoa farmer. So do well and grab yourself one as you begin your day. Later in the afternoon, you can also do so as well. Koa Natural fruit juice. It says do right sip by sip. And this morning we're talking about a very interesting conversations, and we want you to send your thought to us here on the show. Our WhatsApp line is active. We're streaming live on Facebook. You can also share your thought with us as well. My guests are in the studio. We're going to be looking at the front page of the newspapers that we have. We've got a couple of them over here. And then when we are done, we'll be looking at the Ayawaso East in focus. NDC kicks off parliamentary candidate selection. They're pegging the filing fee at 40,000 Ghana cedis. We'll be looking at that. And you know that the primaries for the NPP is also around the corner. So yes, the NDC's one will happen. The by-election is going to happen on the 3rd of March. But the NPP goes for the flag bearer next week. So yes, that's also something to watch out. And Comac and Star Oil issues. Anyway, let me walk through the newspapers, the front page of the newspapers, and then I'll introduce my guests and we'll start our conversation. Chronicle is here this morning. It says that GPRTU throws a fit, arrest 15 drivers for charging multiple fares. And Baumia leads Sempoat's opinion poll, and Bosso Mancrado has not been distilled, family says so. Volta Student Association honors Opong Fosu for exemplary leadership. That's the Chronicle this morning. On some stories away from that, the overseer is here, and it says multidimensional poverty drops to 21.9% in Ghana. That's GSS putting that out there. Ghana to refine, I beg your pardon, 1 tonne of gold weekly as Gold Board signs land bank deal. And Ghana begins process to acquire Kwame Nkrumah's former residence in Guinea. And I've seen pictures of that on the internet, and it looks like it's a good initiative. So let's see how that also becomes. Now, 37 military hospital louts NHIA for timely claims payment. That's also on the front page of the Vesia. JUSAC suspends a planned strike after government response to salary arrears demands, and yesterday they suspended that. 27,000 jobs to be created through 3 new garment factories. Trade Minister says so. Then away from that, we get to the Inside newspaper, and it says at World Economic Forum in Davos, Muhammad leads Accra reset talks today amid great power rivalries, trade tensions, conflicts, and others. Cervical cancer in Ghana, a fight we should already be winning. And U.S. visa diplomatic strain brouhaha. Majority rejects minorities' call for a Black West dismissal. And away from that, Save the Nation appeals to UN to ensure global peace amid rising conflict tensions. Ghana, China seal a $30 million grant for Damango University projects, and over 400 jobs lost. Entitlements delayed as Heath Goldfields faces scrutiny. And away from that, IEA survey reviews most Ghanaians say country on right path under Mahama. That's the new Inside newspaper. The very last one is the Finder newspaper, and it says Ghana multi-dimensional poverty falls to 21.9%, and government support for garment factories to generate 27,000 jobs. Trade Minister says so, and they believe that most of the productions for our institutions here in the country will be done here in the country by people they believe that are capable of ensuring that we do it. So we are going to be doing our own things. International travel boosts mental health, brain wellness, and Ghana's energy banking system is vulnerable to cyber threats, analysts says so. And that's the newspapers for today. You can grab a copy and read about all of that. Now, joining me this morning here in the studio, as always, is the venerable lawyer Kwame Jantuah. He's a leading member of the CPP. Good to see you, lawyer. Oh, are you not?
You put us into trouble. Good morning.
You are. Good to see you. And I hope you're good.
I'm good. I'm not sure whether this news I heard is true. But if it's true, I wonder how. How can you sell a bus for 3,000 cedis?
A bus?
Yes.
The ones that were sent?
Yeah. How can you sell for 3,000 cedis? Is it true?
No.
Is what they are saying in the news true?
Well, I've not verified that yet, but it could be.
Even scrap. You can't sell scrap for a whole bus for 3,000 cedis, can you?
No. That's cheap.
Yeah,
that's extremely cheap.
I wonder.
But you know it's possible. And
Why is it possible? Why is it possible?
Well, this is Ghana.
No. If that is what we are saying, they're in deep trouble.
This is Ghana. No, see, you dig into it and realize that
no wonder we can't stop Galaxy. No wonder.
But, I mean...
No wonder.
So, see...
How can we sell a bus for 3,000?
You don't think it's possible someone can do that? As
not unless that person has personal interest.
But we've seen many of these things happen.
I don't understand it all.
That one I agree. But as to whether it can happen or not...
The fact that it's no big news doesn't mean it should happen.
It's auctioned.
Is it auctioned? Was it auctioned? Were the buses auctioned?
Yeah, to be auctioned.
Well, no, not to be auctioned. Were they auctioned? If they were auctioned, then there's no problem. But if they weren't auctioned, then I find a problem with it.
No,
for auction, you can pick it up at any price.
Yep. Yes.
If it's not auctioned, then that's a problem. So if it's auctioned, then we shouldn't portray politics into it. For auction, you can pick a car up for 1 cedi. Auction, you can. So if it's auction, don't let us paint things that are white black. If it's auction, let's say the buses were auctioned at this price. Fair enough, but it makes it sound as if the buses were actually sold for 3,000 cedis, which is wrong. If it's auction, then let's be truthful to ourselves, because it is a country we are trying to build together, not by one party, but together, trying to build this nation. So if the truth is there, let's speak the truth and not paint things black that are white.
Unfortunately, some of these things, I guess, and you know how trivialized they'll make this. You know,
why?
If it comes up,
why?
We just talk about it or walk past.
MPP is a political party. NDC is a political party. CPP is a political party. PNC are political parties. All these parties can have an opportunity to rule this country. No be so.
Yeah.
So why do you want to trivialize it? Maybe the kind of politics that we are practicing should change. Because if it doesn't change, then where we are heading for? Because the young ones, what they see, they will come and even do it worse and not do it right. And it is not good for the country. It's not good for the country.
Anyway, I'm happy that you also brought it up, so at least we'll all see how we can work against some of these things. Also joining us this morning, I think for the first time here in the studio, is And
she's the venerable. She's the venerable.
Honorable Catherine Abilima-Afeko is here with us this morning here on the show. She's the former Minister of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, and also the new ambassador, you know, changing things, the narrative in Africa. Let me put it that way, in Africa. Joining us this morning. I hope you're good.
I'm doing
As
great.
always, huh?
I'm doing great. And you know, it's always a pleasure seeing you on screen, off screen. So it's great to be here. And I've met...
I know. The conversation of...
ex-brother.
Took us
but I think we will,
places.
we'll revive the familial relationship.
It's very necessary. Yeah.
Of course, my brother from Parliament, we are actually tribal mates. So we're from the same tribe.
I see.
So he's more like brother who's not been rejected. But Jantuah will need to reapply.
Reapplication
but it's good to see both of them. I'm happy to be here with them.
So today's a family show.
I know, right?
Family show.
Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. The Honorable Peter Kwachiaka has also joined us this morning. He's also always here to help us with our conversation. And it's good to see you. He's a former MP for Memphis Central. And Honorable, very good morning. I hope you're good.
Morning.
I love your outfit.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
Honorable says that the challenge in the studio is heavy, so he's always prepared to come and face me. I'm like, oh.
That's not a young man, though. You're a young man. You're a young man.
You see,
a young man. You can't chase with him. Don't try.
Stamina.
I'll try my
Hey, Catherine. Stamina, pa.
I mean, thank you to Franco. No, trust me, this one is a family show, so yes, I understand. That's how we're going to be getting. But we also want you to be a part of it, so send your messages to us. Our WhatsApp line is active. We're streaming live on Facebook as well, so you can also send your messages to us, and we'll be reading them here on the show, so please do well and send them. So the NDC is getting on this primaries. I mean, if you are aware, you know that we lost the sitting MP, and based on that, it has to be a by-election. Now, they have come out. Some people have come out to say they want to contest. In fact, Baba Jamal a couple of days ago also stated that his intention to also contest the election. Some are also saying that the wife of the deceased should also be put in that. And this has become something that always happens when a certain MP, passes on. It looks like the wives are always, in the picture somewhere. We don't know how this one is going to end, but it's also coming to the conversation. And so the National Democratic Congress, NDC, has announced guidelines for the conduct of its upcoming Ayawaso East parliamentary primary, and they're pegging the filing fee at 40,000 Ghana cedis, and the forms has been set at 5,000 Ghana cedis. And so we want to be looking at this. I'll start off with you, Peter. The NDC, as it were, or maybe other political parties that we've seen in the country have made things a bit easier. And I'm saying so because anytime that the sitting MP or whoever that is on is gone, it's easy to just say that, the wife should, just come in and take over, and then we'll make things as easy as possible. But right now, it looks like it's going to be a heavy contest. Baba Jamal has come out to say his intentions of being a part of it. How are we looking at it in the picture? How's the picture looking like in the House of the NDC?
All right, thank you very much. Let me greet my fellow debaters, the honorable lawyer, and my very good sister.
Good morning.
And especially, let me greet my constituents, Memphis Central, who are watching us this morning. I have always maintained that some of these by-elections are not necessary at all. I think I made my point.
You mentioned that a couple of
years ago. And I think if you look at the way the man died, Muhammad Nasir Toure passed on just a month ago, and now we are struggling to replace him. I feel very bad about that. So I have said that we should follow other jurisdictions where if somebody passes away like that, the party which is holding that seat should be allowed to replace the person. Unless maybe something else, other conditions may happen that, we have to go for election. Otherwise, if somebody dies like this, after 1 year, I mean, what are we going to debate about? What are we going to just campaign about? The man was not a good person, or the party has not done well, so we should change the party's rep. I believe that we should take a look at this, especially during this constitutional review. I don't know whether this was brought about. And you made a point that the wife should be allowed to contest. Well, I think there is democracy, open democracy. It has been the trend that whenever somebody dies, the sympathy, we want to get a sympathy of the voters. So we parade the widow, which in itself, I believe, is not very fair. If you go to what I'm trying to bring about that, no, there should not be election. Somebody who is grieving, within a month, you parade the person to come and contest the seat which the husband lost, or the wife died. I believe that is very bad. But however, what we have opted for, democracy, we have to contest, and that NDC has opened the nomination, and it's 40,000. I believe the last election also was 40,000. I think I paid 40,000 and 5,000 for the documents. And more so, I believe the other parties have also intention to contest. And I believe that it's a waste of time. It goes to buttress the point that I'm making, that sometimes it's not important to go into election.
That seat is an NDC seat.
NDC seat. And the last election, we won by a difference of 10,000 votes. And within 1 year, what is going to change? So I believe that especially what is going on in the country, with the stability of the city, the inflation coming down.
The NPP should forget it.
I think they should forget. You see, I've always been that they should try and organize their internal politics very well.
But wouldn't that be part of trying to organize their internal politics? That if they're able to win, it serves as a notice that there's something
you cannot win.
Right.
That they are going to perform badly. Because looking at the conditions around, especially what the NDC, what we are doing now, conditions are, the fundamentals are all looking...
But don't forget they're also restructuring. I mean, there are things that they are doing based on the Michael Quay Committee report that came out. And so taking some of these things and making the difference also shows that they are, that was in the report,
from what is going on,
results.
From what is going on, I mean, their primaries, you can see that there's a big confusion in the party. And
that happens in any primaries. The NDC would...
No, this is worse.
The NDC will go through this.
Oh, NDC, I don't think...
You're likely going to go through this.
I don't think it will get to this stage. Oh, let's phrase it.
Is that bad? What we're saying,
very bad. I think their party is totally disorganized. Totally disorganized. If they are not careful, there's going to be a split, and it's going to bring them back. And so I believe that, especially now for the first 1 year, they should not worry themselves just opposing, because you find them opposing everything, which is not right. They should just concentrate on their party, leave NDC to run for maybe 1 year, maybe after 1 year, and they come in to oppose. That would be fair. But the way they are going about things, look at the...
But you've already done a year.
A year, yeah. But they started the very first day that NDC came into power, which has actually devastated. It's so bad that they never saw the right thing to do. So I believe that for this by-election, based on what the NDC had done...
You're confident?
But confident. I mean, everything is going right, at least for this 1 year. The fundamentals that Dr. Bawumia spoke about, yes, the fuel prices are low. I think we are going to discuss that. I mean, in the history of this country, we see fuel prices dropping. And now there's so much competition in the system. And the dollar is now struggling against the cedi. And fuel prices and the inflation rate is so low. When they left us, at one time it went to about 54%, and now it's 5.3. Incredible.
Well, they left it way lower than before they left.
Well, yes, I mean they struggled and brought it to 23%, 23.5%, which was a whooping figure. I see, that is incredible. And within 1 year, we have dropped it to 5.3. So what are you going to talk about? I mean, at one time...
5.4.
5.4. Oh, you are trying to be very...
No, even a single margin matters anyway.
5.3 and 5.4. Okay, so you see, at one time we had hyperinflation. Hyperinflation, and everything was going haywire. I mean, if you went to a store and you buy, the moment they mention the price, you should buy it straight away. If you waste some 5 minutes to bargain, by the time you realize, no, I'm not going to sell it at that price again. It's going to increase it. That was what was happening. And now you could see, now we have the luxury of people now calling that the prices are not coming down fast enough. You see, that's what we are struggling now, that the prices are not coming down. We are not talking about the hyperinflation that we experienced under the MPP. So you could see that things are better. You see, I always agree, okay, it is good that certain prices have come down a lot. Last time you showed some readings here.
Yeah,
it showed that many prices have come down. Others are staying as they are. And that is what we are saying, that the inflation is not zero. If people are saying that prices should not go up at all, it means inflation should be zero. If you are not careful, then you come to deflation. If you that is prices dropping, we are going to collapse our economy. Okay. So now people have got their luxury that their prices are.
And that alone is enough for you to win.
Enough for this, so they should not struggle at all. Many things I can mention. Policy rate has come, bank policy rates have come down, and GDP growth has increased. Our foreign reserves have increased by, I think, $13 billion, and all these things point to the fact that it is no go area for.
If there's any elections today, regardless of whatever,
NDC going to. So it's a waste of time. Okay. We are going to waste our money. The NDC is going to waste money.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Let me move on to Honorable Catherine. Honorable Catherine is excited about the brother and how the brother has.
My sister, Kwachi has not changed.
I know.
A very good morning to our cherished viewers and listeners, and of course to the good people of Nzimaland. I'm here today, courtesy of our party, and also to correct some misconceptions of Kwachi. He hasn't changed. The premise for by-election. I sat in Parliament with you. Our Bible is the Constitution. Article 112, Clause 5. For those who do not appreciate some of these things, it's etched in law. 112, Clause 5. Whenever a vacancy occurs in Parliament, and of course with your permission I read, the Clerk of Parliament shall notify Electoral Commission in writing within 7 days after becoming aware that the vacancy has occurred. And a by-election, listen to the word, shall be held within 30 days after the vacancy occurred, except that where the vacancy occurred through the death of a member, the by-election shall be held within 60 days after the occurrence of the vacancy. So this is entrenched in the law of the land. Article 112, subclause 5, and the language says it shall be held. Mandatory. It is not may.
Mandatory.
So that is the beginning of dismantling Kwachi's argument. And then he gets and then he gets I did not interrupt.
That's what I said.
What is there to be corrected? It's the Constitution. Article 112. I didn't make it up. Subclause 5. And there's a lawyer here. We sat in Parliament. We were oriented to respect, obey, and utilize the Constitution.
So this is on the argument that he says that
it is not necessary. No. That is contrary to the law. Number 2, whenever there is a by-election, all political parties registered who have the wherewithal can, because they're following the law, get involved. Yes, we had a deficit of 10,000, but things can change. In election, even if you don't win a so-called safe seat, you can bridge the gap. And that will be a statement, a message. So the premise of going to by-election is backed by law. The second part is political parties are at liberty to field their candidates and then go out there and race. I also kind of that's the only point I subscribe with. There's been a lot of, it's not a law, it's the norm where a widow is pushed onto the fray when they are mourning. You go back to Ayawaso West, Fantiman, there was one in the Sege area. She's Lindo Klu is also as a result of by-election. So there's been a few, but we haven't stopped to ask these women how do they combine the grieving process with the parliamentary process? So it is not because they are not capable. They are. But we have to look at that carefully. And then we don't become a nation that is not going by the law. Allow people to contest. There could be other women who are not widowed, who are not bereaved, and they want to put themselves up. But the minute you bring in the bereaved member of the marital victim or the person who's dead, it creates a natural sympathy for that. And it does erode the democratic principle of people putting themselves in the race. So it needs to be looked at. It really needs to be looked at. But it would be nice if you get another woman who's not bereaved to also go, because I would advocate for a woman candidate. But what he said that I totally support is we need to look at where you are in bereavement and you are pushed into the front line of active politics.
That is also the prerogative of the person to decide whether.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It needs to be looked at because it's the party. See, when you're going on a ticket of a party, it is the party that.
So that influence comes from the party.
Exactly,
Even
it is
if
the
you
party.
decide that, I don't want to be a party.
It is the party.
Okay.
And the party decides to field a candidate who is either bereaved, non-bereaved, or seasoned. So that's one. But we are not going to waste our time as a political party. The NPP will field a candidate. From 92, we've always fielded a candidate at Ayawasi East. So the agenda is to close the gap and hopefully one day capture the seat. So they contest in Ashanti region. They only had Aswansi. Now look at the incremental votes they are getting in the region. That is our safe zone. So in politics, you can never tell, but everybody knows Ayawasi East is their safe zone.
Yeah.
But it does not stop the democratic process of other parties. CPP should bring a candidate. The PNC we should encourage that whole democratic exercise of electing people, open, fair, transparent contest by the law. Article 112, clause 5. It is allowed. So we are not going to waste time. I heard him say, they're going to waste our money. Which money? We're not enough. So it's the political parties sponsoring their candidate. So it is not your money, correct? That you are going to waste government money to do the fanfare.
The argument also is the fact that there have been a lot of change. People are enjoying a lot of things that, as he mentioned, inflation and all of that. And based on that, he thinks that you even attempting to come and say you want to be a part of it.
See, that's the second part of my rebuttal. Yakwache, I don't think is going to the market. I do. Okay? So this is one of the pitfalls we went through. You speak this big English, the GDP, the inflation, the reserves. Go to Amenfi Central, go to the market and ask the woman selling kinky. Has the kinky dropped from 7 cedis to 2 cedis? No. So yes, in fairness, it's only been 12 months in office and you have a 4-year mandate. So things could actually get better or it could get worse. You have to give that room. I'm an objective politician that I don't blindly criticize. But to sweetly say, oh, everything is sweet honey, so we shouldn't even talk, then there is no democracy. And even how you go about that, we should wait after a year before we criticize. This is not a royal throne. This is a political arena where you are allowed, again, backed by the Constitution. If you go to chapter 5, it is our rights to express ourselves as a party in transition, to also critically and objectively assess your performance. But that does not preclude us from contesting. It is a free game and a fair environment. Otherwise, we will be getting close to some anarchy or dictatorial dispensation, which is what Ghana left 30-something years ago. So we will contest. The political parties.
So it wouldn't be a constitutional mandate, but it's also to make a statement.
A statement that...
Because that would be two things.
A 10,000 deficit, we can bridge the gap. I wouldn't sit here and say you will take the seat. That would be naive. But you can break the gap. That will tell you the sentiments on the ground. And no, there is no fire in our house. You are going to have an explosion post-Mahama, and we know. And when you talk about our house, watch what is coming in your house. So we are going to a contest in the next 10 days. So naturally, you will have different contestants vying for the position, have their salvos, but it's a normal phenomenon of a political race. We're not going for enthronement, we are not going for coronation, we're going for a contest. So I would be surprised if we don't have any activity that shows. If I don't like Jantuah, I don't have to go and use a fist cuff, but I will use my mouth to say what I feel makes me not like him. So that is what we call the.
You think that it makes the party disorganized in a bit?
No, it is not. Oh, my dear, I have his own backyard. Look at what he went through for just one constituency. The fight, the salvos, and the... Okay.
Honorable.
I'll drop it there.
Did you ever hear me
speak? What you have cost?
Did you ever hear me
just
speak?
leave it there because he's my brother, but it's a natural phenomenon.
Yeah.
Whether you spoke or not, we all watch Amemfi Central. So it's a natural phenomenon when there is a contest. So you cannot say that because we are going for a contest, we will be precluded from contesting Ayawaso East. No. And the fundamentals that he mentioned is exactly why we are bringing in Dr. Kennedy Ejapon, because these big English is what is the problem. The anathema of this is simplifying things, doing what the grassroots want, just the basics, industrialization, job creation. But Kwache is sitting here, and his constituents in Amemfi Central are watching him going, inflation, GDP, reserves. You didn't say anything about the bread and butter of the environment that you come from. And that is where we have to shift our policies and programs to make it more simplified so the people on the ground will identify how many jobs have been created in Amemfi Central in the last 12 months, how many people have been employed, how is the mining, which is the bread and butter issue of his constituency, which I know because we are from the same area. How are these guys being personal? How are these guys, because politics is local, how are these guys being protected? Are their machines still being burnt? Is Naimos terrorizing people? What is happening on the ground related to GDP, inflation, reserves?
And that's what the Honorable Kennedy Ejapon brings to the table.
He stands for that. He stands for that. Practical politics that relates to the pockets of the people on the ground. So we are going to contest Ayawaso.
Okay, very well. Council.
He's watching us like, okay, look at this.
Come to the table.
Look at
see if he coming.
Council is just
see if he coming to the table to contest.
I'm not a party executive.
Oh boy!
Why you should
you're a leading member.
Neither am I.
It's a party that would decide whether they want to stand or they don't want to stand. Look, based on the conversation we're having, till death do us part. Till death do us part, number one. So if you lose a loved one, either male or female, you're parted. Number two, it depends on whether the individual would want to put themselves in that position. Number three, if the people of the constituency are crying that they want that particular widow or widower to stand, who is the party to say you can't stand? Who? The lady in question, I happen to know her. We serve on the same Christia Sankofa board. I didn't know her till she came on the board. She's astute. She is astute. She is calm, quiet, but very astute. And I learned she's been in the NDC from inception. She's not just a wishy-washy woman. She was one of the first people who even opened forex bureaus in this country. Very astute woman. And for me, when I heard that they were putting her forward, from the little I have seen of her, in terms of how we communicate with board matters, she can handle the constituency. You've got to get to know the individual standing before you start even commenting. Does the person have the capacity? When Catherine went first time, did she not prove to the people that she had the capacity to stand? She did. And this lady, Hajia, she can stand. That shouldn't bar any other person from standing. It's politics. It's politics. And you see, the converse of what my brother is saying is that what if you have an MP in a constituency who has done no good work? And unfortunately, the person passes. And the people now have the opportunity to vote somebody new in, and they decide to vote the opposition in because the person who was there did not do the right thing. So this bit where my brother here talks about we should leave the party to bring somebody in.
You go for primaries.
Then apart from Sebeyan Tokwano, money too will come in. And those who are supporting a particular person within the party would create a certain situation that makes it look difficult. So let's go by what the Constitution tells us. And it's an entrenched clause. Can't change. To change it, you need referendum.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. If Hajia feels she can handle the constituency and understands the vagaries of being in parliament, and she can go into parliament and make a change for the constituents, why should we stop her? Why should we stop Baba Jamal? Why should we stop anybody who wants to stand? It's politics. I heard my sister talk about, and for this MPP race, I don't have a favorite. I don't have a favorite. If I did have a favorite, it could be somebody I went to school with.
Which is?
Which is Kennedy Japan. He was my junior in Adisado. So, yes, so when I was in Form 5, I think it was in Form 1 or Form 2. So maybe on that basis I might go that way. But I don't have a favorite. But the fact of the matter is, unfortunately, with this 2024 election, MPP have lost the upper and middle class. They have lost the upper and middle class. And the only class they have now is the grassroots. The grassroots. And even there, hockey can. Even there, hockey. So, and as I keep saying all the time, they should try as much as possible to build confidence within the people. And this is one of them, standing for a by-election. I would have loved it if the CPP were standing. I would have loved it. It will bring some razzmatazz in there, depending on who it is. But it will show people that, CPP, I would be happy if PNC were standing. But you see, where politics is concerned, now say Ghana politics, do you know how much it's going to cost them to stand for this election? From what I know from this by-election, I believe the people want the widow. I believe the people likes the way her husband handled the constituency. And there were quite a lot of things and some important committees he was on that they realized he was doing well. Not alone for himself, but for the party and showing the constituents that he had the wherewithal to be the parliamentarian for that constituency. So let's see what comes out of it. I believe if the NDC want the woman to stand, she should stand. The question is, does she have the capacity and capability to stand? This thing about bereavement. Look, in Ghana today, it's your pet. No, I don't know. It's your pet. And life continues to go on. And if Hajia wants to stand, let her stand. It shouldn't even depend on the party. The individual themselves should find capacity. Because look, the challenges in that constituency is not easy. Especially in Accra constituencies.
Yeah.
You can lose by a small margin. And what my brother is saying, and we've done this and we've done that, everything is going well, that doesn't mean you can win the next election. It doesn't mean you continuously have to work with the people. Continuously. Politics is no small game. So when people come and tell me, oh, Mr. Jantuah, stand for flag bearer, I said, they're standing for flag bearer. Right now, they'll be hailing you. Yeah, when you put your foot in the hole, then you will see. It's not an easy thing. So don't let's trivialize it in any way. Is she ready? If she's ready, let her go.
Okay.
Let the best man or best woman win.
Very well.
It would be good if it were all women,
Thank
Fantastic.
you.
It would be good
my stance.
if it were all women.
Yes.
Fantastic. Because for me, I believe we've got to increase our women population in parliament. We've got to. We've got to get to a point where at least we have nearly half of women in parliament.
Very well. Lawyer, give me a minute. Let me go on Zoom.
Can you give me 1 minute?
No, I'll come back. I'll come back to you. Madi Jibril is on Zoom, and he's the Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC. Let's find out from him a few things with regards to that. Madi, good morning, if you can hear me.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. I'm grateful for your time.
You're welcome.
Great. How are preparations towards the elections, first of all? We're going to have this on the 3rd of March, correct?
Yes, correct. Let me say good morning to your listeners and also good morning to your panel, the host in your station. We have 2 elections as a party. The East elections, which is on the 3rd as a public election. Then the
primary
NDC internal election. For now, we are concentrating on the internal elections, which for us is crucial, even than the main elections for the by-election. It's crucial because this is our stronghold, and anytime you are managing elections, especially by-elections in your stronghold, your focus will almost be on how to select the candidates. And it is how we manage the primaries that will determine our performance of the main election on the 3rd March. So for now, our focus is on the primaries, which on Saturday, 24th of March, we are opening nomination for anybody who wants to contest. Nomination for.
Madi, can you correct that for us? You said 24th of March.
24th of January, sorry.
Great.
Sorry, 24th of January, that is Saturday, this very Saturday, we are opening nomination. Aspirants who want to contest will have to pay 5,000 cedis to pick a nomination. It's open for everybody, and anybody who wants to pick nomination. We will only determine the qualification of the individual who pick nomination after they submit their forms on 27th January, where vetting will be conducted on the 28th of January. At that point, we will know who is qualified. Then from there, we'll go to elections on the 7th of February. And the 7th of February, because EC also is closest nomination on the 11th of February. So it's crucial for us to manage well, not to have an issue that will take us beyond the 11th of February, where NDC will end up not having a candidate to contest elections. So for now, our focus is on the primaries.
So as it is right now, we don't have certain individuals that have come up, officially to say that they want to contest, or if we open the nominations and all of that, they're going to pick the forms.
For us as a party, you only show your intent when you pick nomination form. So whatever happens on the social media and people talking about it, we as a party, we are only hearing it. But it will only be confirmed when you pick nomination on Saturday. Even picking nomination doesn't mean that you are a candidate for the election. It is when you submit your nomination as silent, then we can now say that you have shown a commitment to contest the election.
Very well. Now, you mentioned that this is a very crucial elections. Based on the fact that you want to still retain that seat. In terms of who becomes the person, the candidate to face the other parties that will be also, contesting. How is the party managing it internally? How are we managing it so that we make sure that the right person is able to represent us?
You see, because it's crucial for us, it is to make the process very transparent and very open for everybody. Once we're able to succeed on that, all aspirants believe in the process, then we are good to go. So that is where our focus will be. The team that will go for the betting, even giving out the forms is key. That is why also we publish the timetable early enough to allow everybody to know the time of picking nomination and where you are picking nomination. We are not engaging anybody whether to contest or not to contest. That is why I'm saying that we are opening it up for anybody who wants to contest. After that, after we get a candidate after 7th February, then we can talk about the individual candidate who is going for the election. But for now, we are making the process very open, very transparent for everybody.
So there's a likelihood that at a point the party will try to manage it in terms of who represents us, or it's something that
the party will not involve in who to manage who to win. The party will manage the process very transparent. That is the key to us.
All right. Now, the main election itself, how prepared is the NDC in terms of what happens on the grounds? You are in charge of IT, and this is the reason why I want to find out from you how prepared you are with your team.
The election on the 3rd, the Iowa East, it's more of a bragging right than NDC winning the election. It's more of a bragging right.
Why so?
This election that the MPP, if they contest, they'll be contesting just after their primaries. And you want to make a statement with the candidate they elect in that election. The NDC also, what we have to do to protect, to also make a statement for rating of the government in the urban area election. So it's going to be the bragging right election. It's more of a bragging right election than who to. As for winning, the NDC will win the election. But this election that if MPP gets about 2% addition to what they had the last election, they will brag over it that the performance is going.
And that's what you want to stop.
That is what we are going to work against. But for winning, we'll win the election.
And what strategies are you using to ensure that happens? Any different thing apart from what Honorable Peter has said over here? Is there any other thing that you're going to use to ensure you're able to do that? Because that's going to be a difficult thing to do.
Oh, elections, you see, for me, I approach every election as they come. Akwetiya is different from Blakuma North and Iowa East. The dynamics of the constituency will determine how we operate it. But the focus, as I said, is about the bragging right, but we will make sure to have the upper hand of the bragging right.
If the NDC is not able to make that huge margin, what happens? Would it affect anything moving forward in terms of the bigger picture we're looking at? Would it also...
It all depends on the dynamics of what happened, why the votes didn't come up. But as you know, whatever happens, if we are not able to do the percentage, or MPP appreciate the percentage, you have no any excuse for them to say that if the government is not performing. That you cannot stop them from saying it. Mm-hmm. You understand? You cannot say, because you remember when in 2023 when we went for Kumewu, we didn't win, but we were the people who jubilated in Kumewu. You understand?
Yes,
so for me, especially when I heard that the General Secretary said that they will contest and win, so I have to sit back and ask myself, what is confident that MPP is bringing up? They are going for election in normal circumstance. A party that is going for primaries, just after the primaries, we have just about 1 month again to go to primaries. You will feel that believe that they will really sit back not to contest the election. There's some problems within their party, but they say they will contest. So for me, it's more the bragging right, but we will make sure that they will not have that bragging right. I want to believe that our focus is also to make a statement to MPP that 2028 is not for them.
Very well, Madi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm grateful.
You're welcome.
Madi Jabro is the Deputy Director of Elections and IT in the NDC, speaking on the elections. 2 elections is mentioned, of course, the internal one and then the bigger one, which they are hoping that they will be able to give them a very huge margin in terms of what happens at the end of the day. But I'll come to you.
Let me just clarify some points they made. You know, I said that I wish there will not be a by-election. Okay, I'm not saying that they should go against the Constitution. I'm aware of the Constitution. But you know what I said? I said I wish this thing had been incorporated into the constitutional review, because I'm of the view that in a country like Ghana, when somebody dies like this, the same party should be allowed to nominate somebody to represent.
To continue with the term.
Continue. I'm not saying that that is what should happen.
Constitutionally, that should be the case.
Yes, I'm not saying that, because my sister was quoting the Constitution to me. I didn't say that there should not be any by-election. Okay, but I went on to say that look like Tamale Central. When my good friend also passed away, the NPP didn't contest, and the MDC had to do the internal election and selected somebody. And he's now in Parliament without any election at all. There was no confusion, nothing. So this is what I'm advocating, that in future, if there's going to be any review of the Constitution, this should be incorporated, so that if somebody dies like this, they should allow the party to. That is what happens in the States. The state, when somebody dies, they don't have to go for election again until the next election. The party, because you stand in the name of the party, okay? You're not an independent candidate. That problem will arise when there's an independent candidate. But for a political party, you go in the name of the party. So when somebody passes away, the party, I believe, should be allowed to bring somebody on board.
Is that process not also to challenge the person who is going into Parliament, that you didn't just have this like a walk in the park? It is something that you had to go through a certain process to be able to get here.
Yes.
So we're saying that, we will not go through that process, just go. Once you get to the Parliament House, I mean, at the end of the day, you just came here.
By going through,
you didn't have to go through any process.
You go through the political party's selection process, like what they are going to do. You go through the
vetting. There will be elections,
everything. But there will not be any general election, which is going to put a burden on the country's purse. I'm not saying the individual, but the country. The EC is going to spend a lot to conduct this election, which at any rate the NDC is going to win. You heard Madi say the challenge is only going to increase. The way they are going to increase the margin, not the winning. The winning is a foregone conclusion.
Okay.
Especially the way the party, NPP party, has been devastated and has been ruined. And so there's not going to be any way that they are going to win.
Very well.
It's just going to be a waste of...
okay. So, Honourable, have a take and then we'll move on to the next.
Exactly.
I want us to talk about the Ken.
I have a comment.
Exactly. This whole excitement. I'm happy Madi supported my strategic input. I told you, we know safe seats and we know where we can brag. If, by the grace of God, after 1 year in office, naturally, there will be some kind of tension here, dissatisfaction there, and we are able to reduce the deficit. It will be genuine celebration for us. And he confirmed it when they went to Kumau. Kumau is an MPP seat. No matter what you do, we will sleep tight.
But just celebrate the margin.
Thank you. What we are focusing on is ensuring that 10,000 deficit will be halved. And that will be a big and bold statement that, wow, NPP has made inroads. So that's what they are going to also strategically try to work against. But you cannot naively sit on such a big platform and say, we're going to take over Ayawasu East just like that. There has to be some kind of plan A is naturally to win. Plan B is to shore up the deficit. So you have a statement, and that is politics. So they are aware. That's why our secretary is so confident that we're going to contest, because we know that memorandums, 12 months, we've been in office, so we know you can't satisfy all your voters in 12 months. So naturally, you have a few who are disaffected. So we have to bank in on that and ensure that we capitalize on that dissatisfaction and shore up our deficit. So we will definitely reduce our deficit. And we will celebrate. And we will celebrate. Just to make a point that this election is constitutionally backed and we are free to contest, and we will definitely bring the 10,000. You watch it.
Okay.
It will come down.
Are we a poor country?
Depending on how
are we a poor country?
I don't think we are. No, I don't think so.
So my honorable colleague here saying that the money we are going to spend, we are not a poor country.
No, democracy is expensive.
We are not a poor country. When you see the kind of, I've stopped calling it corruption, the kind of stealing public accounts time to tell us, we are not a poor country. Yeah. So let's stop this thing, and they're going to spend money, they're going to spend money. It is something that needs to be done. But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Today, are we not saying we should elect MCEs? Mm-hmm. Are we not saying it? So what's the difference? And maybe going by his analogy, if it so happens that the party chooses somebody and the people in the constituency don't like the person, what happens? It happened in the last election, in the last government, where some MCEs were chosen and the people didn't want them. So why go through that when there's a process of voting? If you want to stand, stand. And if the people want to vote for you, they'll vote for you. Period.
All right.
Okay.
So we are contesting.
Okay.
So yesterday we spoke about this, but there's been an update from the Attorney General, and that's why I want us to take a look at it as well. It has to do with Honorable Ken Oforiate's court hearing yesterday. The Attorney General has been speaking about it, and it says that there has been some communications between the government and that of the USA in terms of extradition, and he's very hopeful. In fact, in no words, he says that he's extremely hopeful that at the end of the day, all the other legal processes, when they are done, Ken Oforiate will be coming to the country. I want to start with you. Some people believe that he has done so much to be going through the embarrassment he's going through right now. And if it were, in his own interest, he should come to Ghana and face whatever, that he has to face.
Please clarify, he has done so much. When you say he's done so much, in what sense do you mean? He's done so much
in terms of issues that we have where the government has for him, corruption and corruption-related offenses.
So the challenges.
Exactly. And so it's better that he actually comes and then, face whatever he has to come and face. I don't know what you make of that.
Kay, I am of the same chorus that he's a son of the soil. Mm-hmm. And whatever the law dictates, it will be in his own interest to come home. So coming to Ghana, we are not in a kangaroo managed state. Yeah. We are practicing the rule of law. And he will have, Article 19, the lawyers are here, Mm-hmm. He will have his day in court and he will have his right to speak, what do you call that, in all the alteram partem. Mm-hmm. They will hear his side. So we should not make this thing fetish about it. Just come home, face the law, and it's SML. If you are found guilty, you will be culpable and the law will take its course. And if you are innocent, you go to church and you celebrate with your family. Every Ghanaian, as stated in the Constitution, has that right to defense. So the more you leave the speculation, then see, like what my brother was saying, has so much evil. It's SML. There's one issue. We have to really dig into what exactly has Ken done. Mm-hmm. So it's not like he's treasonably accused. Just come home, face the docket that is against you, and let the world hear your side of the story. That is the credential of Ghana. Ghana practices the rule of law. So it's not as if you are at the airport, they'll grab you, they'll throw you in, back in the days, some dark room, and then we don't hear of you again. No, we have the credential of the rule of law. You'll be given the opportunity in court. So whatever it is, just come home, save the country the drama, and come and face the law. If you are innocent, found innocent, you'll be let go. Mm-hmm. If you're culpable, let the law take its course. That's why we have appeals. That's why you can go all the way to the Supreme Court. And that is the beauty of our democracy. There is nothing wrong with being accused, but if you don't come and state your case, you leave the room for speculation. I think, I'm not speaking for the party, but I think the general sense in our party is, Ken, please come home. You've lived here, you've served the nation, you've got your track record of data bank, you have your track record of the finance ministry. So whatever good you did, use your goodwill to offset your bad and negativity that is fueling and building more speculation. I'm of the mindset that if he had a chance, he should come home tomorrow. Come, Aine and the team will take you, have your lawyers, and go to court. Or the alteram partem. Let us hear the other side. We can't just sit and judge a case that we don't even have the fact. whoever, even a murderer, has a right to being
to be defended by
by the lawyer.
Yeah.
So what is there that is making us so? And I, in my small corner, sitting here with you, would advise the family to urge him to come. To just shut down.
There are lawyers of his who are
speculation.
saying that if they were even him, they would not allow him to step foot into Ghana.
Then they are violating the laws of Ghana. This is a sovereign state. And if the state, from Kisi Ejabin's earlier efforts, trying to extradite, all I'm trying to say is, in my small corner, as a member of the party that he's a member, just come home and demystify all these speculation. You're giving the Alquachis of the world to say you have done so much evil. Evil, that's a strong word.
My sister is that
Evil.
today.
Yeah, because Jantuah has not brought himself. But when he does, I will put back the days of our comrade story. So, Ken, please come home. Just come home. Face the rigors of the law and let us give you your chance in court so you prove the naysayers wrong. And if there is anything that needs to be done, that's a civil procedure. It's not criminal. He has not been charged with any criminal charges. So just come.
Internally, is the party singing the same song? And I'm asking because you play very important.
That's why I said I am not speaking for the party, because I'm not here speaking for the party, but it's a general sense, and we talk amongst ourselves, that if you were to come home, it will put an end to the speculation, the rife, the propaganda. Just come home. That's all.
Okay. Honorable, let me have your take on that.
Okay.
The Attorney General's...
I think my sister has taken a very cautious line, because most of the time when we meet the MPP people, they are just defending the indefensible, that Ken should not come home. But I think they have thought it wise that it's going to hurt them very well. I would read that Ken would not even come, because it's going to be a big campaign tool. If you have stolen,
do you see?
If you have stolen such amount of money and you are hiding away, it's easy for us to use as a campaign tool. So you see.
Then how do we also, charge him for whatever crime he's committed? If you want to use it as a campaign tool for your own interest, then what happens with the government intention to bring?
Yes, I'm just speaking figuratively.
It will be further.
Yes, so the Attorney General has hinted that he's had some conversations with his counterparts over there, and he's assured the nation that they are going to repatriate him. And I feel so bad that a man of his stature, Kanoforiata, we knew even before he became a finance minister, was no small person. And then he came to become the finance minister, and he messed up big time. And now he's a fugitive in a foreign land, even trying to overstay his stay in the U.S. It's so bad. I look at us as a country. Where are we going? Our whole finance minister, he leaves office and he's not able to stay in the country. He's begging to stay in America, and now he's in jail. Okay, it's so bad. It's so bad because the judge argued that he should be sent back to the jail.
Detention center.
The jail. You want to?
Well, it's a detention because he's not being judged or cancelled.
Is it not a jail? Yes.
Yeah, no. It's a detention. Is a detention.
Well,
so it's the custody of the detention center.
You quoted, but look at the bed.
It's not a jail.
Okay.
Because it's not being charged.
It's not in jail.
Yes.
So that place.
It's not being charged yet. It's just like being in a cell.
It's called a holding cell.
It's a cell.
You've been in the States. It's called a holding cell.
A cell. Okay.
It's not being charged.
It's not being
with that small bed there. Come and see the number.
It's not a Kempinski. Yeah.
Oh,
it's a detention center.
Yeah.
Okay,
what do you expect?
With all these small drug addicts and the rest being kept in that.
There are levels to it.
Yes.
With the level where he is, which we're made to believe that it's not the highest, in terms of crime.
But as I'm saying, it's so bad, it's so ludicrous that this man is trying to run away from his own country, where he has built his fortune here, and because of the bad things he did. My sister was saying it's even worse than committing murder, because he actually committed murder. Look at the number of people who died. because of the haircut. I mean, can he?
How is that a crime?
If by your actions you cause somebody to die, is it not?
No, but if people die because of your actions, you know,
you're not causing
how is that supposed to be another case?
Can we say the lawyers will say that this is not what is this? The other one, manslaughter. Let's say manslaughter. Can you not charge him with manslaughter because of his actions? I mean, we are all in this country. Let us not hide the truth. Because even his own party people in parliament, they all came out to say that no, what he was doing was so bad and that he was even hurting their party. But the president never listened and he stayed in power and messed up big time. Even after he was removed from office, he was given a very big, juicy position in the Flagstaff House or the Jubilee House there. I mean, what's happened? And I was listening to one man. He said, this man stole about $13 billion. I saw it on the
where
on the
speculation.
social media. Yes, 13 billion. So this is what is going on. So he should come and make sure that he answers for it. But it's so pathetic that they want you to come. You have overstayed your visa allowance in the States and you have to come home. You are refusing to come. And you are now in jail. Is it not bad for the country? The image he's portraying there for the country is so bad. And I think the MP people should not support this at all. Because if after NDC leaves power and somebody had done that, I will never support. Because if you are chopping your money, you are not chopping with me now. So why should I defend you if after you have left office, they find out that you have embezzled some funds, then I'll come and stay here and defend you. I mean, so the NPP people, I'm very happy that my lady just veered off from there, from the general position of the NPP people, always defending that he has not done anything wrong, he has not stolen anything. But look at the charges that I've Googled here, and the charges that the OSP. I mean, is as I say, it's ludicrous. See, it's a strategic mobilization, Ghana Limited, SML, a scandal. National Cathedral Project. Look at the amount of money he sunk into that hole. That big swimming pool, the amount of money he sunk in there. I mean, he said, the president said he had a dream, a vision that he should build a house for the Lord. And he said he was not going to use the funds of the nation. By the end, when this man came to Parliament to read the budget, we found a very big hole there. I mean, he has to answer for that. Why should we use that money? And let me mention, UCG, okay, ambulance procurement, GRA tax.
Honorable, you're mentioning all the...
yes, and then
now we have about 70-something.
Economic mismanagement, reckless borrowing. He was borrowing and so that you get his cut. This man was borrowing recklessly, and he never used the money judiciously. And is it not to answer for this one? I mean,
well, the Attorney General has assured us that we're likely going to have.
Okay, and the debt exchange program,
positive,
where many people died, the debt exchange program. And when you were saying that we are a proud nation, we will not go to, and now you are a proud nation, you feel you are hiding in somebody's dungeon. That place is a dungeon.
Let me tell you.
See, all the speculation will end when he takes Delta Airlines and shows
he's hiding in a dungeon.
So he won't give further to Yaokwachi.
You are saying that you are a proud nation.
Just come home.
Now you prefer to hide in a dungeon like that coming into your country where you are proud of.
See how he always embellishes. Evil to dungeon.
Look. Let's
trivialize
the lawyer will come in there.
Let's be very, very mindful of how we expound certain things. I heard they'll say that he's stolen millions of cedis or dollars.
I said I found it here.
13 billion.
Listen.
No facts to
he
that.
is innocent until proven guilty.
Article 19.
He is innocent until proven guilty.
You are a lawyer, I'm not.
That is why they're going to court.
Exactly.
And it's up to the evidence that is presented in court. He would provide evidence, the prosecution will provide evidence. The law will be applied to the evidence that has been put forth, and it's up to the judge to decide whether the person is innocent or guilty. Unfortunately, Ken hasn't been able to help himself. And why do I say that? He has proven that he is susceptible to what do they call those people who run away? Something flight.
Oh, risk?
Yes. Risk of, him fleeing.
Flight risk.
Yeah, flight risk. Because from the onset, when this entire thing started, he left. And
The OSP knew about that, isn't it?
well, whatever the case is, when he was called to come back, he should have come back. He didn't. And he's trying his utmost to stay in America. If it so happens that the case gets to court, and this particular situation of what is happening now is not for immigration, it's for his bond. That's why they are there, to get him out of where he is so that he can be home and be attending whatever hearings needs to be attended.
What the US is doing right now.
Yes. This is bond. It's not the immigration case. But let's be very clear. He still had time on his visa till February.
Yeah.
The difference here is the fact that his visa was revoked. Now, the question is, why was it revoked? Do any of us around the table know why? We don't. If he overstayed his time limit before taking his passport in, then it's a normal overstaying thing. But there must be a reason why his visa was revoked. And I must say, and I've said it on this platform, I do not want to see Ken Ofori-Atta come to this country in handcuffs. The position he held was a huge position. A former Minister of Finance in Ghana. And I was sad to see what I saw on TV the other day. Sad. I asked myself, as if I was talking to him, Ken, why?
Why did you do this?
Why? Come. And at the present moment, if he decides to come, he can go back to the court and say, look, guys, let's stop all this.
Okay.
I'm going back.
Self-deportation.
And the reason why he's going to be able to do that is because this is not a criminal situation. If it was a criminal situation, he would have to go to court, serve his term before they bring him back.
Got him back.
But at this material moment, I don't want to go through this anymore. It would cut the Ghanaian government's repatriation, and it will and it will cut this immigration thing once and for all. Right now, when he comes, the Ghanaian government will say, you're a flight risk. And because you're a flight risk, we'll hold you in detention. Because you've proven that you can be a flight risk. Why do you want to go through that? What do you call it? Chairman to me, is he not walking around town?
He just go for his court appearances.
Just go for his court appearances and life goes on. And for the kind of person Ken Ofori-Atta is in the MPP, do you think the MPP will sit down for anything ultra vires to go on with the case? They will talk. They will go to the court and pick it. They will do all sorts of things to help protect their own. So I don't understand why he is still out there. Look, if he was prosecuted in absentia, that's a huge indictment. Some of us have lived abroad for a long time. But we realize that if home is home. Are you trying to tell me all the things he's done for himself in this country? If he was held in absentia, he will never come back to Ghana again. Apart from that, family. Family. The pressure on family. I remember in 1966, when my father was jailed 68. The thing was that, Wako Wiesi Kentini not to prison. It affects the family. So for me, if I had my own way, I would advise my good friend Gabi Ochredakon, my good friend President Akufo-Addo, his wife, should appeal to his lawyers to tell him, Ken, come. Look, you see, the mistake a lot of people make is that in politics, you sleep with odd bedfellows. In politics, you sleep with odd bedfellows. If you go to parliament, and they too have been in parliament, and they are talking matters that concern them, everybody stand aside. Everybody stand aside. We hear someone stand aside. Oh, but it happens. Oh, please. Don't let me cite. It happens.
There are examples.
Yes, examples. It happens. It happens. And you see, and I've said on another station, look, maybe the reason why Ken doesn't want to come is that if he does come, the cases, and it's not only SML.
Yeah, there are other cases.
There are a list of them. Yeah. It would implicate so many people. Because a lot of the decisions that were taken at cabinet level. He was just a mouthpiece for those decisions. And if you want to delve deeper into why those decisions were taken, it would implicate a lot of people and even implicate the president, the former president himself. Typical example, you put all the others aside, National Cathedral. It wasn't in the MPP manifesto. It wasn't a manifesto promise that they will build a National Cathedral for Ghana. It was a personal discussion between the president, the former president, and God.
Yeah.
Personal. And that personal decision meant that they would find money to do it. Then in the end, we find that country has now been sacrificed with the amounts of money that have been sunk without one pillar of the cathedral. Will that not bring the decision makers in? Apart from that, the OSP has widened his offenses. How many people?
Yeah, there are
8.
Some other.
There are about 8 people.
And it's about 78.
Are you trying to tell me that these 8 people, they will not draw others in? My boss told me to do it. I got orders from above. I couldn't do it on my own. I'm not a decision maker. So definitely it will pull others in. For me, I would like a situation where, because if Ken was here, by now, Nkadiana water down.
No.
By now, water down. The more he stays out there, the more the ante goes up. Because right now, if on the 27th of April, the decision is to is to go against him, he's not going to be able to walk out and jump on an airline and come. The American will escort him here and handcuff him here. And when he gets here, wait. When he handcuff for our part. Have you been on a plane where they've got people and they're sending them back? Yeah. And when he gets here, they hand him over to the authorities. And if the authorities say you are a flight risk, so we are putting you in detention, it's embarrassing. That's why he's got a last chance now. Don't wait for April 27th to happen. Get your lawyers to go back to the court and say, our client has decided he wants to go back home. Please, let's do whatever it is necessary and then let him go. And when you're going to go this time, you're coming on your own. No, okay, because there's no one, you decided to go. Look, the Venezuelan Maduro, they gave him options.
Leave.
They gave him options. Do this, do that, you can do this, do that. He decided he won't take the options. And if you won't take the options, then we'll show you where power lies. He has an option right now. And I hope former President Akufo-Addo and his close cousin Gabi and even his lawyers here would advise Ken, it's okay where we've gotten to. Come. Simple.
Very well. Let me do some few messages from our viewers as well. This one over here says, good morning, KMJ. In fact, I like the objectivity of the lady in your studio today. She's Honorable Catherine Afeku, and she make your show lovely. But question I want to ask is if it's a general sense among the NPP, why are they silent? Is it because he's your own? And that's what I think Honorable also reiterated that most of them defend the thing, but Honorable Catherine has been very objective about it. Let me go on this one. It says, good morning, sir. Please tell Madam Afeku to stop insulting our sensibilities because we are not ready to go back to their dark days of kinky parties, PDS, pension head cats, ghost names, Galamsey, mass killings in Boko, Techimana, Yawaso, Wenchi, Kaswa, etc. in their attempt to rig 2020-2024 NPP. NPP must apologize for their iniquities and atrocities and stop dreaming of coming back to power. Well,
that's his opinion.
They don't deserve that. NDC is doing everything in its power to market Ken Japan in the NPP flag bearership race so that their new candidates can win the 2028 elections. They are very much aware that Ghanaians won't vote for Ken. Their desperate moves to help him win are all at all costs. God is in control, and I will make Dr. Baumia win hands down. Greetings to Honorable Eric Nana Ajiman Prempe MP for Ano Teacher Kojo in Tepa. So sent in that one. Let me go to Samuel Boachi and Asamankasa, and it says NDC should continue tackling themselves, and LAF 2028 would expose them. While NPP has finished all the internal wrangling and come out as strong and united to wrestle power, Ken Oforiatta will come. But what about Sedinam Tamaklo, who is already sentenced? Sedinam is coming back to Ghana, by the way. She's in the custody of the U.S. authorities, and they are processing her. So yeah, let us be objective as a democratic country. Nobody is above the law. NPP is 28 regarding Dr. Brian Champong and Samuel Osei Sarkodie, also known as SOS. Okay. This one is from Alaji Hamza in Pig Farm. It says, good morning, my brother. In my humble opinion, Ken should blame himself for whatever that is happening to him today. We are told that what Ken is going through now is pure immigration issues, and it is about the revocation of visa or visa expiration. And instead of him coming back home, he has decided to go in for top lawyers in the U.S. to defend him and to be able to let him stay in the U.S. If it's, in fact, Ken is actually running away from justice and accountability. My brother, you remember about the issue of occupying the Flagstaff House issue. Ken and his friend were all over the place calling for accountability and appointees to be held responsible. Today, what has changed? But I can tell you for a fact, this will not save him because revocation of visa and visa expirations goes with deportation. All right. This one says, good morning. It really baffles my mind how men with gray hair behave this way just because of politics. It is a shame to turn everything into politics. They are so deeply soaked and blinded by politics that it has become an obsession, not wisdom. Instead of setting examples with maturity and good sense, they choose noise, insults, and blind loyalty. They should pray very hard never to fall sick because the same politics they worship will not save them when reality strikes. Honorable Anas NK. So I'm still trying to process. Master Planner says today, Sedinam Tamaklo would, maybe an advice for all of us, so we leave it at that. Sedinam Tamaklo would also have a day in court for hearing. Why is Arise Ghana not going to picket at the embassy? This clearly shows how hypocritical and politically motivated the actions were. Again, most of the media houses are quiet, but when it was Ken Oforiatta, everyone was shouting. For the first time, time I disagree with my mother, Catherine Afeku. Ken, don't come home. They should do their investigations, and if you are found guilty, we'll all support his coming back anti-Ken. But until then, Ken must stay. Most people are talking out of pain and jealousy. All right, okay, pain and jealousy from what exactly? Can I get this one? Okay, my messages are frozen. Okay, let me see if they can work it out for me so I can do. But I think our time is also up as well. So let's take our last take and then we are gone. We have 1 minute to do this, so maybe. Honorable, you want to start? Honorable, yeah.
Salivating colleagues. Try.
I will go on to say that the NDC should work hard and make sure that this election is a foregone conclusion. I believe we are going to win, but like Madi said, we should try to give a margin of about 20,000 to keep their mouth shut. Because perhaps they don't know how Ghanaians are angry with them. They are not aware of that. And still they go about to portray the country as going bad, like prices are going up and things are bad. But I think that last I was here when you interviewed the citizenry, and many of them gave a positive reflection of what is happening in the country. Some gave the president about 90%, 95% and all. And I think that is a true reflection. And I think it's going to reflect in the election, by-election, which is going to come.
Okay.
And I think, and for Ken, I think, as I said, figuratively, stay long, don't come so that we can always have these people at their back. However, it's a disgrace to us to see our finance minister being in handcuffs, being led to the jail or to the dungeon of this place, and I think it's
okay. Your 1 minute is up, Honorable.
You come, yeah.
It's in detention.
In all fairness,
yes.
I think you will use your platform also to share the lawyerly side of this whole debacle. My senior brother Ken will put an end to all these speculations when he comes home. Ghana is a rule of law based country, no matter what. This is not the first time a government appointee is going to court every week. I remember the days of former foreign affairs, Oseje, Asabi. You will go through, they've all gone through, you go through court, but you will have your day. So it will also shut down the speculative nature of Yaokwachi and ilk. So you will come, whatever sin you have committed, the laws of this country will give you the opportunity to have your say. And at the end of the day, I also want to use the opportunity to talk to some of your comments that came that we are not shielding Ken. He needs to just come and have his day in court. So it will end the speculative nature of whatever civil proceedings he has to go through. He's not being charged with anything criminal. And like the lawyer said, you have to go to court. You are innocent until proven guilty. That said, I am hoping that with the Ayawaso East, we will inch up our deficit to send that psychological surge to our party that we are not in a one-party state. Yes, the NDC is making inroads, but you need a responsible party in transition to keep you on your toes. Yeah. And third and final, 10 days from today, we're going for our presidential primaries. I am praying. It's huge. Yeah. We're praying that all 5 contestants will follow the rules, sign the peace pact today, and comport well, because it's an internal contest. But I pray that Kennedy Japan takes the baton to build, regroup, rebrand, and the party to face whoever is coming after President Mahama. So the contest will be free and fair, and for what Ghana is known for, a peaceful transition of governance structures. And that's what we as a country cherish. We are not these nations where you hear we're fighting each other. In other jurisdictions, parliamentarians from other side of the aisle, they don't even talk. But look at us. So Ghana has something that we have to protect, and that's unity. So we're praying that ours on the 31st will bring out the candidate that the voices and the masses are yearning for. So we will lead.
Which is Honorable Ken Ejapon.
Kennedy Akompreko Ejapon. Greetings to Team Ken.
Okay. Council.
Team Ken.
And that's his
President Mahama,
matters.
President Mahama is doing well. It will definitely have a reflection on the election. Definitely. In terms of the person they put there, that goodwill and confidence that you feel in the country would reflect in the election, be it and the mere fact that it's also an NDC stronghold. Whether the gap is going to narrow is a multi-million question.
Yes.
I don't think the gap would narrow because of the kind of flavor the country is going through today. Everybody, and you see, everybody would give a chance to what is happening because they see good things going on. They will compare it to the past government as to how they handled things in the country and how people felt as if they were in the straitjacket. People are a bit easy now because they see some light at the end of the tunnel. Whether that vision that they see is a sustainable vision, now that is yet to be seen. For Ken, for me, it is a lesson for politicians. It is a lesson for politicians that if you are out of power and you are seen or certain accusations and offenses have been leveled against you, come face the music. I won't run to Britain. I won't run anywhere. I will stay and face the music. But you see, the good thing is that Sednam too is what? Is now in custody.
Yeah.
She would come back. And if she comes back, she would probably serve her term. But this is Ghana. Let's say Ken Ofori-Atta comes today. All the things that he's done is found guilty and he's thrown in. Do you think if an MPP government comes in, he will stay in? Do you think so? Okay, so let's say Nam come. She's thrown in. Do you think all the years they've given her, she would, spend all those years in That's why I say, in politics, we sleep with odd bed fellows. And especially in this part of the world, not even in this part, Trump, what didn't he do with the people who attacked Washington, D.C.? He freed all of them and pardoned all of them. So it isn't something that we should be scared of. But everybody who is put in a position, especially government position, you have to account for your stewardship. Look, I'm on the board today, and some of the things that we have gone to see on that board, we have to try as much as possible to take ourselves out because it wasn't in our time. But we have the responsibility to investigate because it creates challenges going forward.
Okay.
So I would appeal, and the party should come in here, appeal to Ken Ofori-Atta.
Come home.
Come home.
Come home. Very well. Thank you very much, Honorable Catherine Atheku, joining us this morning. He's former Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, and also Africa Brand Ambassador for World Tourism Forum. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
She will tell you about it. Thank you very much, Lawyer Kwame Jantuah, for coming as well. Honorable Peter, thank you so much for coming as well.
Let me reiterate that Ken is guilty. Until proven.
No, innocent.
No. Can you imagine? All right, so that's our time. This conversation this morning. Big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise, and also we say a big thank you to Core Natural Free Juice, also supporting us as well. Now we're going to be looking at our next one, which has to do with the Constitution review, and we're speaking to one person that has spoken about this, and he actually thinks that the president should do some sort of retrospect and also take his time to go through it before he eventually submit it to the committee for implementation. We won't be looking at that conversation this morning here on the show. It's with the president now. Yeah, so we're looking at after he's done, he sends to the committee and then the implementation. Oh, it's been published. Yeah, yeah, I'll forward it to you. I'll forward it to you. Yes, yes. Okay, so let me go on the phone line. I don't know whether I have on Zoom. On Zoom, okay. I have on Zoom Nana AJ Bafo. He's the MP for Menchia South, and he's the Vice Chair, Parliament Subsidiary Legislation Committee, and he has spoken about this in terms of what he thinks the President should be doing with regards to that Constitution review. Good morning, if you can hear me.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks a lot. I'm grateful for your time this morning.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Good morning, Council.
If please, let me find out first of all. Lawyer Jantuah says good morning.
Oh, good morning to you, Mr. Jantuah.
Very well. First of all, let me find out. Do you support?
I can tell the lines are falling in pleasant places for you.
Oh.
What kind of pleasant places are you referring to?
Anyway, Nana, first of all, let me find out. Do you support the Constitution review, the entire process? Is this something you support?
It is not wrong for us to review the Constitution, but I am against a wholesale amendment of the Constitution. When you have had a Constitution that has worked for you over 30 years, you have to be cautious in the manner in which you touch it. You know, the constitutional experts will tell you that it's a body of laws. In interpreting it, each part should give harmony to the other. Or in other words, there should be harmony among the provisions of the Constitution. And so when you have had a Constitution which has worked for 30 years, the presumption is that there's some harmony amongst the parts of the Constitution. So in touching it, you really have to look at what you are touching. More often than not, it should be the provisions that have failed work or failed to address our practical needs. And so that is why you have to be careful. It is just a legal framework which is grown over a period of time through constitutional amendment and then legislation. And so when you are touching it, you have to be careful. I mean, for you to really appreciate what I'm talking about, let's, for instance, look at the human body. When there's the need for a transplant, you are removing one body, which is one part organ of the body which is not working, to replace it with another organ which you have borrowed from somewhere. We have heard of many instances where transplants have failed because the body rejected it. It's the same with the Constitution. And so if you do not handle it well and you go for a wholesale amendment, it may fail and blow up in your face. And that is why we are of the view, or personally I'm of the view, that we should be slow to amend. When you are amending, it should be something that in the last 32 years has created problems for you or has not resolved some of the needs you've had, and then you touch it. Indeed, when you look at the Professor Fiagbe Commission report, they acknowledge this fact. Indeed, when you look at many instances around the world, the times when they have gone for a wholesale amendment of the Constitution have been when there have been crises. And so we have to be careful.
All right, Nana.
For instance,
Nana, we're gonna move on to the major aspect that you want, being touched and well taken care of before eventually lands where it's supposed to. But I wanted to find out from you, aside those ones that you have personally stated that the president should take a critical look at before implementation. Are you satisfied with the overall work that has been done with regards to the Constitution review?
I will never condemn the effort of anybody in public service. Public service is what it is. It's sacrificial to the interest, to the benefit of the country. And so don't condemn it. You have to commend everyone who puts himself out for public service. So I commend the committee for their work. However, the outcome of their work should be subjected to scrutiny. And yesterday, when I listened to the Attorney General, I got the sense that he's aligned to the position that I've shared from day one, which is why now he thinks that government is going to issue a position paper to state its position on the matter. The debate had been whether or not government will issue a white paper or state a position paper, or you will ignore it and simply forward what has been sent to it to an implementation committee to implement it. From what the Attorney General has stated, it is clear that government is going to state a position, which is progress and progress from what we have heard. For instance, we heard the Honorable Haruna Idusu's position on it. We've heard a few in government,
Yeah. Hello, are you there?
But now, what the Attorney General stated in my view. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now. We lost you a bit, but it's okay now.
Two, I've also heard the Attorney General say that the implementation committee will be working closely with the Law Reform Commission. That is another progress. What it simply means is that whatever will be sent to the implementation committee will be again up for scrutiny, because the 8th Kwesi Committee sent its report without an explanatory note. And in some instances, what they have expressed on paper is different from what they intended to say. Commentaries given by 8th Kwesi, for instance, on social media. For instance, on their position regarding the amendment of Article 290 to classify it into entrenched, semi-entrenched, and non-entrenched. Whereas from what they have stated, for instance, on social media, the real intention was to make Article 66 clause 1, for instance, semi-entrenched. On paper, per their report, it is non-entrenched when you look at what they have stated. So it tells you that what they intended to say is different from what has been captured in their report. And you have to listen to this public commentary to even appreciate what is there. And so then it is necessary for the report to go through further scrutiny. And I think the Attorney General appreciates that. So in that regard, I think that the Attorney General seems to have taken a cue from the public discussion, and what we are seeing will be progress.
Great. I'm going to come back to you again, but for the purposes of our viewers, let's take a listen to what the Attorney General has to say. When I come back to you again, we'll be looking at the specifics, the Article 66, 290 that you mentioned, the term that the president is supposed to stay in office, which is now, we're looking at 5 years. We'll take a critical look at that, and if you think that it's something that is going to harm us in the future. But this is what the Attorney General has to say with regards to that.
That is very important, because the Law Reform Commission, as I noted, is the key institution for the reform of our laws. And the Constitution is a fundamental law of the land. The process of reviewing the Constitution cannot just detach itself from the work of the Commission. And therefore, I am going to ensure that in whatever we do, the Committee for the Implementation of the Constitutional Review proposals, right, will align itself, to the work of the Commission. In other words, the Commission would also be keenly involved in the work that we will do to bring the constitutional reforms, into existence.
But when is that going to commence?
The process of putting together the CRIC, that is the Constitution Review Implementation Committee, has started. As I speak, I'm putting together the membership for appointment by His Excellency the President, and I'm sure that will be announced next week. And once the membership is announced, we are going to kickstart the process, of implementing the proposals. But prior to that, we will bring out a government, position paper that will, indicate the proposal that have been accepted by the government and those that have not been accepted by the government. The proposals have been submitted and we are reviewing them as we speak. I am studying it very keenly to advise His Excellency the President about some of the positions and whether or not they align, with the reset agenda of the government.
All right, so that was the Attorney General speaking on the issue. I still have Nana on the other side, who has joined us this morning on Zoom to explain a few things about what he has stated with regards to the Constitution review. He believes that a lot of work has to go into it in terms of the President's decision to forward it to the Committee for Implementation. Nana, do you have a problem with the term or limits of presidential stay in the office, which is now being looked at in terms of the 4 years and 5 years? Do you have a problem with that?
In my view, I don't think it is necessary. We need to address what has been the problem in the last 30 years. The problem has been an issue of continuity post-transition. Mm-hmm. More often than not, what government starts, even if you spend 5 years in government, you may not finish. And so we need the succeeding government to complete it. We don't have to forget that all the projects are taxpayers' money. The longer it takes in implementation, the more money the taxpayer pays to complete it. I'll give you an example. When you look at the famous Krofro market in my constituency, for instance, it was started by President Kufuor. And at the time, the project cost was about 15 million cedis. After over 21 years, right, it hasn't been completed. Today, when you do evaluation for project completion, it's likely to cost you over 150 million cedis to complete. That money will not come from any of the presidents who came but failed to complete it. It will come from you and I.
Yeah.
It will come from our mothers who sell at the market. The value-added tax they pay. The small taxes they pay on the duties they pay on the things they import. And so when government fail to complete a project, it is the taxpayer who is punished. It is the taxpayer who is unfairly treated. And so what we need to do is to address this unfortunate punishment that will be meted out to the taxpayer through the default of successive governments to continue with projects. So if anything, let's pass a law that would hold governments to account in terms of completion of projects and not give them longer terms. Right? In this regard, I commend the 8th Kwesi Committee's report on making sure that we have a firm national development planning program supervised by the National Development Planning Commission, and to make sure that every project, every program or policy which is brought to Parliament is undergirded by such national long-term development planning goals. I think that will reduce some of these things. But that may not be enough. There should be specific laws to hold government down to making sure that it completes whatever project it took over from. It took over from the previous government.
I mean, this is something you strongly believe in, and it's something that you want the president to take a look at. If the president does not look at some of these things that you have raised, or these concerns that you've raised, what will be the next stage?
The president may not necessarily agree with me. However, the general Ghanaian public know that this is a problem. When you come to Ashanti region, for instance, you have the Afari Hospital, which has survived President Kupo, survived President Mahama, survived President Mills, survived President Kufuor, and is still not completed. Right? You have many of such facilities all over the country. So Ghanaians know that is a problem. The solution I'm proposing might not be acceptable to the president, but I think that it is something worthy of consideration, and we should all call on him that we should do something about it in our law to make sure that there's continuity. It is not about the 4 years extension. If the president persists in the 4 years extension, all we have to do will be to educate Ghanaians so that when it comes out for referendum, they will reject it.
So this is something that you would take it upon yourself to champion, or it's a matter of just that I want to just speak about it. If it doesn't work, fine. If it works,
educate Ghanaians on the proposals,
okay,
and let them understand what they are signing on to.
Okay.
And then once they do understand, they will be in a position to reject or accept it.
You think it is something that could make the difference?
The education will make a difference. They have to understand what they are signing on to. You have to know that if you vote yes for the extension of the 4-year term, you are voting yes potentially when you have a bad government in place to spend 5 years. That is very long, and that can be problematic.
But there's also been the concerns that, you know, if you give somebody 4 years to come and serve, the person probably gets into the office the first year, is using the first year to get his MPs together, his ministers together, and all of that. They now go into, formulating all the things that they've said they want to do and put it in a better shape and all that. By the time you realize 2 years is gone. And so the person has only 2 years to be able to, even carry on some of the mandates or some of the most important things that he or she wants to do.
The problem really is, very respectfully, lack of seriousness on those of us who are engaging in the game of politics. In the last, for instance, the MPP are in opposition. If you are serious, you should have an alternative to everything the government puts on the table that you oppose. And so when you are in government, these are the things that you are going to implement. Why do we, for instance, wait until the election year, 6 months to election, then you put together a manifesto committee to put together a manifesto for you? No. So this whole time that you were criticizing the government, what was the basis of your criticism? You were just criticizing for criticism's sake? No. When you are criticizing, you should have an alternative. I just spoke to you, and we are speaking, and I've told you, for instance, that I disagree with the 4 years, the extension of the 4 years. I've diagnosed for you the problem, and I've proposed to you the alternative. That is how politics should be done. It shouldn't be that I come out to criticize and not prefer an alternative. And so when we are in government, you should expect from us passing laws to ensure continuity. And we shouldn't therefore wait.
So this is a political party problem then. It's not an entirely constitutional issue.
It is not a constitutional issue. It's a political party problem. We should be more organized and ready to govern. We shouldn't wait to be voted into power. Look at the Westminster system, for instance. The moment you are elected, you start naming your ministers. The moment you are appointed a prime minister, you start naming your ministers. This is why, for instance, I disagree with those who are asking for total decoupling. I agree. We need to make sure we don't tie the president's hands to choose his ministers from parliament. But we should not do total decoupling. Parliament is the place for debate of public policies. When you appoint a parliamentarian into a ministerial position, the person should be able to take the ground running if there was any serious work done in parliament. Little wonder some of the best finance ministers we have had in this country came from parliament. Kojo Redu of blessed memory came from parliament. Ato Forsen, who is commendably doing well, came from parliament. Osafo Mafo came from parliament. And so, whereas I agree, we shouldn't tie the president's hands to choose his ministers from parliament, we should not also tie his hands not to choose from parliament. If you are a serious political party that has been doing serious work in parliament, you don't need 1 year to constitute your government and formulate policy. You should be ready to hit the ground running.
And both political parties, and I'm saying both political parties because they are the dominant ones, believe that this is something that they can do. I mean, putting everything together before they eventually get into office is something that they can achieve.
Look, you knew, for instance, the succeeding year, the preceding year, the budget that was brought from Parliament. You have a finance committee. That is in a position to receive regular updates. Shouldn't you be in a position to prefer alternatives in terms of how you use public funds to transform the economy? Should you wait till you are put in power? Should you wait till 6 months before elections before you put together a manifesto?
So an inability to do that will mean incompetence. Is that what you're saying at the end of the day?
It is a political party problem. I wouldn't say it is competence. We should be more.
Yeah, but if the political party is not able to achieve that,
I will not be dragged into using the word competence. I think that we should be more focused. We should be a little more focused than we are. I wouldn't say incompetent.
Very well. Before I'm going to let you go, but before that, the president, with the stage that we are right now, how long is it going to take the president to be able to go through this? And I'm asking because you're part of the legislature committee. How long is
it would take? It's in the hands of the president. It's in the hands of the president. They know their timelines. I can't predict for them.
Okay, so that is not bound by constitution that, okay, we're supposed to take the president 30 days, 40 days, or maybe 10 days to be able to do this.
You are looking at the procedure for amendments. It depends on the provisions you are looking at, for instance, to amend.
Okay.
For instance, the committee is proposing that we amend Article 290. To reclassify the constitutional provisions into entrenched, semi-entrenched, and non-entrenched. What we call the enshrined. I, for instance, think that proposal should be rejected. It should not be entertained. It's very dangerous. They think that there is some stability in our democracy. So some of the things that we used to fear in the past, we shouldn't be afraid of. But human nature hasn't changed. We did not legislate, or we did not put that provision of the Constitution to take care of tithes. It was there. It is there to take care of human behavior and attitude. Look at Benin. They have stability relatively, to the extent that at some point they elected an independent candidate as president of the Republic of Benin. The president decided subsequent changes. They have different persons being elected as president. Recently, their president decided that he was going to extend from 4 years to 5 or 7 years. No, 5 years to 7 years. And there was a military intervention. Nearly. The government, their democracy almost failed. And so we don't legislate just for the times. We also legislate to take care of human behavior and attitude.
Okay.
And we all know that the human being can be selfish, right? And so we shouldn't entertain the proposed amendment of Article 290.
Okay.
What we know is entrained and then non-entrained.
Very well.
I mean, what is being proposed semi-entrained, I don't think we should entertain it.
Very well. Nana AJ Bafo, thank you so much for making time for me this morning here on the show. I'm grateful.
The pleasure is mine. I'm grateful too.
Great. And that's the MP from Menchia South speaking on the issue. He's the Vice Chair, Parliament's Subsidiary Legislation Committee as well. Nana AJ Bafo, we are joining us this morning here, looking at the constitutional review that has been presented to the President already. We're hoping that the President will take a look at it, send it back to the committee, and then we will look at implementation. But of course, that has been the conversation here on the show.